Hey, welcome to Road Dirt. I'm Rob Brooks, your host. Appreciate you joining us. We have got us a project bike. Actually, we've got it again. This was a bike I actually had several years ago and sold it to a young friend of mine who pretty much rode the heck out of it the last 5 years and really enjoyed it. It is a Suzuki SV650S, a 2002. A real popular bike back in its day and recently reintroduced. He's actually took a job out in Houston, Texas. So he's on his way out there and asked if we could kind of help get the bike running again. So here we are down here in my lair. You can check this out. So we're going to get to work on this. Suzuki's SV line, they actually have it in a 650 and a 1000. And debuted back in 1999. And one of the early bikes in the naked sport bike category. Kind of went head to head with Ducati's 600 and 620 Monster with that kind of trellis frame, and went through several versions. This was one of the earlier ones. I want to say in about 2003 they redid the trellis frame on it and gave it some new body work. They actually had a naked version of it, kind of a quarter fared one like this one, and then fully fared ones for racing and things like that. And then about 2009, Suzuki all of a sudden decided to completely remodel it. They kind of eliminated the SV650 moniker of it and relabeled it the Gladius. Got all new body work and everything. And to be honest with you, I thought it was hideous, so I named it the Hideous. But and then recently in 2017, Suzuki reintroduced the 650, the SV650, and it looked like the original. It was unfaired with just a single headlight up front, but these have been wildly popular motorcycles for them. They're almost a cult classic, and as in racing, and just it's a do-everything bike. The ones that are fairingless have handlebars. These ones that were the S model race ones had those clamps set up there below the triple tree. But been a very popular bike for them, and I, for one, am real excited that they brought it back. So we actually did a review on it when we got a demo of it after they reintroduced it, and got to have it for about a day and just rode the heck out of it. Really enjoyed it. Very glad that the SV is back. 651 at least. So the problem that my friend had was lately, periodically, he'd be out riding it, and after about 30 minutes or so, it would just die on him. So he replaced the battery. He thought maybe the battery was starting to get weak. Didn't solve it. So he's actually pretty mechanically minded. So what he did was he went in through the alternator and replaced the stator in it. Inside there, the stator coils and everything. Not sure I'm doing this well. Thought that would have fixed it, but it didn't. Didn't solve it. So he actually had to head off to his job out in Texas and asked me if he thought it was in down in the rotor down here, in the rotor housing, and the alternator rotor. So we've actually got a hold of it, and going to see if we can go into this thing and get that rotor off of there. Now, in short, an alternator actually recharges the battery while you're riding, and if they ever get where they lose magnetism, sometimes you can just replace that coil right there, which is what my friend did. But if that doesn't solve it, then you've got a problem in this thing, what's called the stator rotor or the alternator rotor. And all those are magnets. And you can almost tell by looking at this one, there is a problem right there and a problem right there. So I actually took it all apart and took the center bolt out. And now we just need to get a puller, what's called a puller. You actually insert a puller in here, tighten it down, and then you brace the the outer part of the rotor with some type of tool to keep it from moving, and then you can pull that, screw it out, and this whole piece will come right out, which is what I'm going to have to do next. We may show that in a future video unless I can't get a hold of one, but interesting to have a project bike. You know, I've never really gone this deep into down into the charging system, so I'm not very mechanically minded, not very electrically minded, but hey, you never know unless you give it a try, right? That's what we've learned lately, that's for sure. So anyway, we'll give some updates as we work on this bike here, this SV650S, and periodically update you and let you know how we're doing or what we're doing next. We might even try to see if we can do something with that fairing. As you can tell in recent videos, we've learned a little something about that too. Well, this is Rob with Road Dirt. Thanks for tuning in, and see you in future episodes.